Pokemon Go just won't leave me alone. The community in Mississauga is toxic as heck. Stay tuned to find out what's going on. Good morning, good afternoon, and good evening. Welcome to another episode of Nufftingz Speaks with your host, Nufftingz. Alright, so as you can hear in the intro, it's a Pokemon Go thing, right? So for all the two fans that I had that like the Pokemon Go toxic situation, we're going to unpack a lot of it. So for the last, what is it? It's May now, right? So since December, I haven't played the game. Like, I've been totally out of it completely. I want nothing to do with it, right? But there's still people that can't keep my name out their mouth, right? And found out that they listen to my podcast. Apparently, this is a podcast. And they like the new stuff, but they say I'm still holding on to a grudge with Pokemon Go. Yet, you're sending me voice notes, you're sending voice notes to other people, you're talking about me outside and whatever, right? So one dude in particular never shuts up, right? And he's like the funniest person in the world because he talks so much that he incriminates himself. So let's get into him. All right. So this guy, I've talked about him before, but we're going to talk about him again. This guy never shuts up, as I've said already. And he talks and talks and talks, and he knows that he's full of crap, but he'll say anything to get his point across, right? He also brings up everybody else in these arguments. And when I say argument, I mean like, Jamaican way of saying it, like me and you are talking, it's an argument. It's not really an argument. But like, okay, this guy, he says these things, he brings up people, and people don't like it, but he still does it anyways. It's like his brain can't understand the fact that he's full of crap and he needs to stop, and people don't like it, and this is why people don't like him. So what he likes to do is, like, when you say that, then he likes to throw it back at you. So let me give you a little bit of the nuts and potatoes with this. Nuts and potatoes, that's my new thing. All right. So he is a hater of Nufftingz, right? Okay, cool. But I don't know how to explain it, but like when there's an argument with, let's say he's arguing with somebody else, right? I'm not going to name any names. He then brings me up for no reason. Just says, hey, rob this and rob that and whatever, right? So these people like to call me fat. They say that, I'm fat. I got like 3 chins or whatever. And it's like, okay, look. I've put on a little weight, right? I used to work out a lot. I used to have all this muscle, and now the muscle has turned into belly fat. And I'm diabetic. I've been taking insulin for 31 years. And no, I didn't get diabetes because I was fat. I got it when I was 12 years old. Okay. If I decide to go to the gym tomorrow, I'm losing it. I'm just busy doing other things. But you know what? I'm going to go to the gym, lose some of this fat. Get rid of a couple thousand pounds, get rid of some of this girth. But anyways, so this dude actually has a bigger belly than I do. He is bigger than me, right? But I guess when he looks in the mirror, he sees a very skinny person. Like, who he probably sees when he looks in the mirror? Did you ever see that, those Justice League Dark movies? And they showed, Flash going back to save his mom? And then they show like Aquaman and Wonder Woman are fighting, and Superman was when he crashed on Earth, he was captured by, was it the Russian government or something, or US? I can't remember, but he was captured by one of the governments, right? So when they get him at the end, he's this frail, skinny guy because he hasn't been around the sun, right? And then at the end, he gets some of the sun power and he starts going crazy. But anyways, that's how skinny he probably thinks he is, right? I should put a screenshot of that. But if you look it up, you'll know what I'm talking about. Now, to get to the point of what I'm saying, because I'm beating around the bush here, is that this dude comes up with the most weirdest allegations. Now, the first one I'm going to bring up is what a friend of mine, right? We don't associate as much anymore because we don't play I don't play Pokemon Go, and that was one of the things that we did together, right? This lady is married to a very respectable, hardworking Dominican, right? This guy is a man that works, like, I swear to God, 60 hours a week. He's always on call. Like, he has a job that it's very demanding, right? he also is a really nice guy, and he's got that strong Dominican accent. If you ever talk to Dominicans, they got that strong, like he sounds like David Ortiz. Like, like he sounds like, like those guys, right? Okay. So he plays Call of Duty. He's not a Pokemon Go player, right? Like, remember, I'm not really a Pokemon Go player either. I like to play my other stuff, but this guy then says that this Dominican dude, he made an appearance one time at a Pokemon Go event when I was hosting, and he was supporting his wife. Like, she wanted someone, he and him there, and he came and whatever. From what I remember, he hated it, right? Now, mind you, I know these people very well. Their kids have played with well, are still friends with my kids. We get along. It's just we don't associate it much anymore because of Pokemon Go. I'm not doing it. But, this guy met the Dominican dude, right? And I don't know what happened, but then he tells me now that when he met this Dominican guy, he said to him, "Oh man, I wish you'd be the ambassador because you've got great energy and this and that. And I don't even like Rob. Like, I like you more than I like Rob." This is what he's telling me. And I go, hold on. So you're telling me a homeboy who hardly talks said all that, right? And then he's like, yeah, this is show you that everyone's talking behind your back and whatever. So I'm like, well, damn, okay. So then I said, all right, tell me this story from start to finish and explain to me what was said, right? He tells you the whole story, but doesn't say anything about, I like you more than Rob and you should be ambassador. Never heard any of that, right? So then I go, but dude, you just said that homeboy said that. He goes, yeah, I assumed. So like after a while, he started to realize that, he's full of crap and he's looking stupid. He's like, well, when he says I have, what do you say? My energy is good. He then asked about ambassador. And what makes it funnier is if I talk to his wife, he probably didn't even understand what it was because he doesn't care. It's not like he's stupid. He's not. He's a very intelligent man. But if you don't care, do you listen? Like, because if I don't care about something that my woman is saying to me, I'm like, eh. Like, you know what I'm saying? Like, I don't pay attention. Anyways, so that's one, right? Now, number two, he starts telling me, oh, yo, before you came on the scene, I knew all about you. I heard about you getting kicked out of the community in Meadowville and the community in Streetsville. And I'm like, but when he said he knew who I was and I got kicked out of communities, I go, which community? Because he hadn't said that yet. I'm like, which community are you talking about? He's like, oh, he didn't answer right away. So I'm like, dude, tell me what communities have banned me and terminated and kicked me out, right? Because this never happened, right? So I'm like, yo, tell me which community. So homeboy goes, well, Streetsville. Never played in Streetsville, bro. Never went over there. Never did a community thing. Never did any of that. Then he goes, well, Meadowville. I'm like, bro, I haven't been to Meadowville in years. He's like, well, that's what I heard. Well, you heard wrong if that's what you... And then he tells me that this guy named Alex, who apparently runs Meadowville, told him that. And I'm like, who the F is Alex? I don't even know this guy, right? So, anyways, the point I'm making here is like, I've never played there. I've never played, listen, I've never, you drive through an area and you play a little bit. I've never even done that. I told him straight up, dude, I've been stuck at square one from the beginning when I started to the end. I never went to Streetsville, never went to Meadowville, never went to Brampton, never went anywhere else to play. My community was in Mississauga and that's where I was doing my stuff. Okay, so that's that. Then he also says, okay, well, the reason why you had such a hard time, people reported you, was because of your attitude. I'm like, okay, I could agree with that. Tell me about this attitude. He goes, because you're not a real player. Okay, well, explain to me what a real player is. He says to me that you need help to take over a gym. What? Okay, okay. And then he's like, I can't knock out a gym and take over a gym with my own power. I'm like, I wish you guys could see my faces because every time this stuff is said, I make a face. Like, and I'm looking at this guy. No, I'm not looking at him. I'm talking to this guy. I'm like, hold on. Now remember, this is a video call, eh? Well, and everyone's got their cameras off. But listen, I only was sitting here listening to this guy because I really wanted to get to the what was wrong with him. Like, what is his problem? Because it's been months, maybe years of him constantly harassing me, and I don't understand why. Right? So I'm like, okay, bro, explain to me what it is that I'm doing wrong if I'm taking out a gym. He goes that you need to piggyback off other people's power. So he says that he can knock out a gym in 5 minutes without any help, right? So I'm like, okay, so you're telling me that because I would knock out gyms with people and take over the gym, put my Pokemon in there, and they say slot your Pokemon in there. I slot my Pokemon in there. That's bad? He's like, yeah. I'm like, so what if someone comes in there and I don't even know, they're across the street and they're knocking out the Pokemon with me? He's like, you back out. I'm like, but why? He's like, there's ways around that. I'm like, what the, like, what? Like, dude, this is the type of conversations my mom will say, why don't you just hang up the phone? But because it was sort of entertaining, and now I have content to tell y'all. So, for my 2 fans, thanks for subbing. This is what people deal with, bro. Like this, man, maybe it's only me deals with this. But anyways, so I'm trying to understand this guy. I'm sort of being a therapist now. I'm trying to understand this guy's thinking, right? So he's telling me that because I would attack gyms with my family, that makes me not eligible to be an ambassador, right? To lead a community because people look at that. So apparently there was other people in the community that was recording this and sending to everybody else to say how weak Nufftingz was because he needed help to knock out a gym. And I was like, dude, at the end, I wasn't even attacking gyms anymore because Mississauga, like Square One area, has a huge problem with blues taking over. Like, it's nonstop. Like, I don't know if it's changed now. Like, I heard recently that's still the same thing. But you had these gym guys that never let you put your Pokemon in, right? So you had people that would mass attack these gyms, right? So I guess I was there a couple times and I'm the bad person. But I mean, I was blue after a while, so it didn't really apply to me. But anyways, so we go on to that now, right? And I'm like, okay, bro, but you're telling me that I'm at fault for playing the game like I was supposed to be played. I could have sworn that when you not go to gym, people can help you, right? Like, you ever play and you're not going to a gym and you see somebody else in the battle with you and you see their Pokemon and all that. So like when you're fighting a raid, it's like, okay, so I'm not supposed to do that. That makes me not be that makes me not be able to lead a community. Okay, fine. So, moving on, I was done with that conversation because here's the thing too. When Homeboy was talking, you couldn't get a word in. Like, you like, oh my god, it was so stressed. Like, I wasn't yelling as much as I should have, but I was like, bro, can you shut up? Like, I would do, like, did you guys ever watch Beverly Hills Cop? And dude's like, yo, he's a Fed, man. And then he's like, no, you're not. And then he's like, yo, why can't I ask him? And then and Eddie Murphy's got his arms out. He's like, yo, why can't I check him? Yo, why can't I check him? He's not a Fed. Why can't I check him? He's doing that, right? That's what I was doing on the phone. I'm like, dude, why can't I ask a question? Yo, can I talk? Can I talk? I'm doing that because literally, like, bro, like, you're an idiot and yet you're talking nonsense, right? Okay, so that's the gym part. Now, let's get into the whole ambassador thing. So he then says, right? And remember, this is not only him, like, there's people behind him defending this, which is so weird. He then says that I got banned from Pokemon Go because of the previous ambassador, right? Okay, fine. You know, if we want to sit there and talk about that girl who has been out of this community for how long, probably does not give two craps about us, or well, I don't know why I said us, give two craps about the community at all. I've never seen her make an appearance, and she doesn't care. Like, get out of here, bro. Okay, so you bring up that now. We don't have to talk about that because there was nothing to say. Like, it was just like, okay, and she's out of the picture, so why do we even talk about that? So then he starts talking about how I could never lead the group, right? And I was like, okay. So he's like, because you know, couldn't do the Pokemon stuff like you're supposed to. So Homeboy says to me, well, you couldn't lead the charge. And I'm like, all right. So his reasoning for me not being able to lead the charge is because I get piggybacked in everything and I'm not that good of a player. And I'm like, okay, like I was better than most of these guys. And it's like, who cares? Like I'm an actual gamer. I play other games. Like a lot of them, this is the only game they play, right? And then he's talking about, like you spent all this money on the game to lose it all. And I'm like, dude, that's just life, bro. Many of us that are gamers have played many games where the games have shut down and we lost our money. Like, it's a hobby you put a lot of money into, so get out of here. But before I go into the whole Pokemon Go thing, this guy, or ambassador thing, this guy also said to me that, and you'll love this, if you're a gamer, you'll love this, that I don't play real games. Halo and Fable aren't real games. They take no skill to play. I was like, wow, okay. Then he says, there's this underground game that I've never even heard of. And he's like, you probably never played this. And there's underground tournaments and whatever. Street Fighter Third Strike. I said to Homeboy, I go, bro, I have that game on one of my Xboxes. I've played that too. What's the argument here, bro? Like, yo, shut up. All right, so now let's go to the Pokemon Go stuff. So, he says to me that I can't control, I can't lead anything, right? And he goes that I would get piggybacked in gym, like raids and all that. And I go, dude, one thing that's wrong with you? He's like, what? I go, you're just a player. Not saying that's bad, but you were just a player. I was doing something different. I was hosting meetups. I was giving out prizes. I was doing all that stuff, right? How am I supposed to play? If everyone comes up to me every 5 seconds, I got a shiny and I got to give them a pack of cards. Or someone gets a Shundo and I got to give them a plushie. Or all this other stuff, right? How am I supposed to play? Right? How? Like, so I'm doing something you're not doing. Like, I'm actually doing event work, but yet I'm a bad player because I can't jump in 500 raids in an hour. I mean, that's pushing it, but you know what I'm saying. So he's like, yeah, you're an awful player. No one's gonna follow that. And I'm like, but people don't care about that though. People wanted community engagement. They wanted to have fun. They wanted to leave home and talk to people that play the same game, interact with people that they are just meeting for the first time, having fun. Kids can come out, and that's what really a lot of people cared about. I go, it was only a handful of you that had an issue with that because you wanted your own situation. And look, since I've been gone, nothing's happened. I heard that there's a couple people that, have been trying to host meetups, but it's not the same thing. Like, it's warmed up now and it's different than when I was there. I'm not praising myself saying, oh yeah, I'm the greatest, but I put the effort in, and I don't know if it's that people don't want to do it or they don't want to put the effort in, whatever. But if people don't want to do it, you sort of have a dead community. Do you know what I'm saying? So I was actually trying to keep the community alive. Now, I've actually been getting people coming up to me when they see me at the mall or whatever and asking me if I can host Go Fest or ask me if I can do this. And I'm like, no, I'm not doing anything. I'm not helping Pokemon Go, Niantic at all. So yeah, I keep losing track of what I'm doing because like someone keeps calling me. But listen, so back to what I was saying. So I don't want to host any of these things, right? But nothing's going on. No one's hosting, whatever. That's cool. But Homeboy is trying to say, right, that um him being a player, he has the same amount of power as me who is hosting events, right? It's different for me because like how am I doing the same thing as you? Do you know what I'm saying? Like we're all playing the game, but I can't even like be bothered with playing the game because I'm too busy hosting the event, giving out prizes, whatever. And while you're just standing there picking your butt, I'm doing something else. Now, I'm not trying to say that what they're doing isn't meaningful, like, you're playing a game, whatever. But we're not on the same, we're doing two different jobs. You know what I'm saying? Like, and I said to dude, I go, look, man, it's like when you see basketball teams or baseball, any sports teams, the players are the players and the management's the management, and they're two different jobs, right? You might have the player that is in with the management, whatever, but that's LeBron, for instance, right? But you know, the fact that we're still having this conversation after all this time, like the community is I'm not going to say it's dead, like, because I don't want it to be dead. Like, there are people that legit want to play and have fun and do their thing, get away from stressful life and whatever, right? But if people like that group of guys, like with this dude who seems to just never shut up, couldn't let someone do something and strengthen the community because of their feelings. Because from what I've been hearing too, is that a lot of these guys, this was their goal. They didn't want someone new to come in. And this is what I don't understand too. Like going back to this whole, Pokemon Go thing. Why would you not want, progression in your community? Like, if someone's willing to put the work in, why is that a problem? You know what I'm saying? Now, there also was this thing where he brought up this other thing. So he was talking about iPlateau, right? Now, I forgot iPlateau existed, but he brought it up and he was telling me that I'm guilty by association for iPlateau. And I'm like, okay, explain. He says that Niantic has been following the iPlateau players, and it's a thing that Niantic created because they wanted to catch the cheaters. And in my mind, I'm thinking, the iPlateau thing isn't even that big of a deal. It's the spoofers that have Discords and do all types of crazy crap and they never get banned, right? Like there's like a huge spoofer community, and this is show you how small his mindset is, that there's a huge world beyond what he knows, right? Okay, so the iPlateau is bad, fine. He then says that even if I didn't use it, I was guilty by association, right? I'm all right. But then I'm like, dude, you do realize that majority of the people at these events were using iPlateau. And then he goes, using an app that you can only use in Mississauga. And I'm like, okay, bro, that, even though it's not an app, was able to be used in a lot of places outside of Mississauga, right? The story is that Mississauga was the better spot because of how much area Mississauga covers, and it was easier to put scanners out there. This is what I got from other people, right? Like this was the whole point, right? But it's like it doesn't break TOS, right? And it's a paid subscription, but it doesn't show anything like if you get terminated, because they don't know if you use it or not, right? So, Homeboy is talking about how, it's cheating and people were recording me doing it and sending it to Niantic. And I'm like, bro, the same people that use it themselves were complaining. They're like, yeah, because you're following them. You're supposed to do your own thing. I'm like, yo, dude, like, do you find every like reason to make me seem silly? Like, it's like you find everything in the world to throw it against me. Like, so you talk about, piggybacking, right? But let me ask you something. When you're in those raids, I guarantee out of every 20 people that you're in a raid with, 19 of them are using iPlateau. It says you can't afford it. Seriously. The dude is broke. You know what I'm saying? Like, he literally is broke. And I'm not trying to dog homeboy, but he likes to tell me low budget podcast. Bro, I monetize on Nufftingz Entertainment, right? I'm close to being monetized on this. The only thing stopping me is subscriptions. But you know what I could do to get the subs if I wanted to? I could pay to get subs. And then once it hits 1,000, boom, I'm monetized. I already have the watch time. So, you don't understand nothing, bro. Like, and it's people that don't. My mom always says this. People that don't have poop in their bum are the ones that talk the most. She says it more rude, but it's actually the funniest thing. It's like, bro, you don't have a foot to stand on, but you're dogging other people. Like, I told homeboy at the end, I go, look, man, I don't know what your issue is, right? Because, like, what I said too is that he always calls out my name every minute. Nufftingz, Rob, this. And people started to ask him, like, bro, do you have a crush on Rob? Like, do you want him? Like, is there something wrong? I never said it, but people are saying, yo, it's a little bit weird that this dude will just, anytime he's talking about anything, my name comes up. And then he tells me that I live rent-free in his head. I'm like, bro, from what I'm finding out, you're paying rent for me to be in yours. like that sounded weird, but it's weird to me. Like, yo, you're telling me I'm talking about you. But bro, I hadn't talked about this guy for so long. But you sent me 1,000,000 voice notes. Like, over and over and over again. You know what I'm saying? And, like, you're mad at me for doing Pokemon Go things that you weren't doing. You know what I'm saying? Like, calm down, homeboy. I know you bring up everybody else, right? You bring up all, like, he brought up other people too. In this conversation, he brought up about 10 different people. And I could sit here and tell you every single one that he brought up, every story, and I'd be here for 3 hours. Seriously, it's that long. Like, it was nonstop using everybody else to strengthen what you're trying to say. And not one thing that came out of his mouth made any sense and did anything to stimulate my brain or to make me think, he might be right. Right? You're talking about things that have no relevance to anything anymore. Right? You're telling me that Street Fighter Third Strike is a real game and Halo and Fable are not. Tell that to some gamers and they look at you and be like, bro, are you silly? Like, what's wrong with you? Like why? Why would you say such a thing? So Pokemon Go is all this, it's so much, I can't even think right now. It's so much skill to play Pokemon Go. You see, my brain is having a hard time processing the stupidity of what I'm telling you. Like, Fable is a classic, right? One of my favorite games. Halo is a huge platform. Like, everybody knows Halo. You don't just run into Halo online and be the greatest. Like, you get smoked, right? Fable, we're all waiting for the new Fable to come out. Is anybody sitting there going, God, I can't wait for Pokemon Go to get something new? I mean, there are people like that, and that's cool. But how are you going to dog real games for a mobile game? Like, there's mobile games that play way better and are worth way more than Pokemon Go. The only thing that keeps Pokemon Go relevant is because it's Pokemon. If it was another thing, right? That, like, if they had, like, animals or something, no one would care. It's the IP of Pokemon that keeps that game going, right? And the community engagement and the YouTubers and streamers that keep the game going, right? But you don't need all that for Halo to be up there. You don't need all that for Gears. You don't need that for Fable. The fan base is the fan base. Like, dude, relax. Calm down. It's okay. I told homeboy, look, you need to get a hobby, get a job, go to school, do something, bro, because, this whole resentment that you have spewing inside of you, it's gross and it smells funny and you need to stop. Anyways, that was my video on homeboy and, his group of crazy people. I'm sorry the video is so long. I was trying to explain it in detail. If you enjoyed it, please like and subscribe. If you didn't, I apologize. I hate doing these videos. I do not like, talking about things like this, because to me, it's silly, childish behavior, and we're all adults now. I mean, if you're listening to me, you probably are an adult. There's way more important things in this world to be focused on than this petty nonsense. Anyways, thank you for listening, and hopefully the next video will not be like this. It will be something positive, as I'm trying to bring the positivity into this channel. If you check my other videos, I did talk about Dr. Umar Johnson. I talked about Hulk Hogan's documentary, and I have been getting some comments on it because I'm not black enough to be talking about Dr. Umar Johnson and whatever, which is hilarious. Like, yeah. But I might do videos on that. I don't think I am, but I might, if the comments get a little bit more, crazy, I might have to comment on that. But if not, and I don't do it and it cools down, I'll be happy not to do it. My opinion is my opinion, as I've always said. I like to tell everybody stories, break it down, how it goes. And that's pretty much it. Like, if you like it, I thank you for supporting. If not, I'll try better next time. Anyways, like and subscribe, and I'll see you in the next video.
Another late night chasing down the light for the grind that Nufftingz has to fight against the voices in the stack.